bought more books. Did I need new books? No. At any point did my brain say, do you need new books? Absolutely not. So here we are. Today's video is going to be a book haul. I personally love watching book hauls and love seeing what other people are planning on reading. There aren't too many to get through. I have 6 new books that I've just bought. For those of you that are new here, my name is Gemma and this channel is dedicated to all things books and reading. So the first one that I bought is The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. This is a very, very popular book. It's a psychological thriller about a housemaid who has been through some tough times herself and she lands the dream job. The pay is fantastic. It's for a really wealthy family, very well respected family, but when she moves into the house, things are not all they seem. People are not who they claim to be. So I'm really excited to try this one. I've heard good things about this. Next up we have Wolf Hall, Hilary Mantel. Almost becoming a classic at this point. I have never read the book, but I did watch the BBC drama many years ago and I love it. This is inspired historical fiction. It is set around the time of the Tudors. Hilary Mantel is a fantastic author, winner of the Booker Prize. It says on the back, in Wolf Hall, one of our very best writers brings the opulent, brutal world of the Tudors to bloody, glittering life. It is a backdrop to the rise and rise of Thomas Cromwell, low-born boy, charmer, bully, master of deadly intrigue, and finally, most powerful of Henry VIII's courtiers. I love historical fiction. This is quite a chunky book, so it's going to have to be one that I read definitely when I'm in the mood. But you can't go wrong with the Tudors, right? If this is one that you've already read, drop me a comment, let me know what you thought about it. Does it match up? If you've read this and watched the BBC drama as well, did they match up? Because oftentimes when they make television adaptations, things change a lot, right? But the next one is another historical book. This is Alchemy by S.J. Paris. So the reason I picked this book is a lot based on the reviews that I read from the newspapers. For example, The Observer brilliantly realised fictionalisation of the Babington plot against Elizabeth I, nimbly braiding history with suspense. This is a classy mystery. Now, that sounds right up my street. The Times said execution has an atmospheric sense of place. The plot twists and turns. The Mail on Sunday described it as fast-paced and entertaining. It's a well-researched and authentically claustrophobic romp through the Elizabethan underworld. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I do want to find out. Next up we have The Maid by Nita Prose. I got this one and this looks very similar to The Housemaid. The Maid is about a young woman who is a maid in a very fancy hotel where she discovers a guest has passed away in his bed, and it starts a murder mystery, whodunit, and the maid, Molly, is one of the suspects along with other people who are connected to the guest and other hotel workers. One thing I'm not a fan of, I bought these books online, is this cover. It's that, oh, sunshine's going on it. It's like a strange matte cover, and it's the type of cover where when you're touching it a lot, you get those greasy fingerprints on it, and that just drives me insane. So I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the cover, but I am excited to read the story. Next up, this book needs very little introduction. Try and get it out of the sun. We have Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. This is a huge book. On BookTube, you will probably have seen many readers have done reviews about this book. I haven't seen one person talk negatively about this, so I am very excited to give this book a read. It was the winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction, winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction. I know that there was some controversy because it wasn't nominated in this year's Booker Prize, But yes, I'm very, very excited. The story begins with his traumatic birth to a single mother in a single wide trailer, looking like a little blue prize fighter. For the life ahead of him, he will need all of that fighting spirit along with buckets of charm, a quick wit and some unexpected talents, legal and otherwise. Like I say, fantastic reviews of this book, so I have high expectations, and I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because generally what I found is when the book is really praised, by the time I come to read it, it doesn't always live up to the hype, but fingers crossed for that one. And lastly, I bought a non-fiction book called The Artist's Way. This is a 12-week course to help you unlock your creative potential. It's like a self-help book, but it's very practical. If you search for this online, if you look on TikTok and places like that, this book has a huge following. It also has a really big celebrity following. I feel like it's one of those books that comes into your life when you're ready for it, because I had never heard about this before, and I have quite a few kind of self-help mindset kind of books. I've never seen this one before. I've already started week 1 of this book, so I'm excited. I'll let you guys know at the end of the 12 weeks how I got on with it. But yeah, I heard really, really great things about this. So that was just a quick short video for today. There's some books that I'm adding onto my TBR. I'm going to be making a video about what is on my TBR because it's getting longer and longer. As always guys, drop me a message, let me know where you are watching from, let me know what you're currently reading, any recommendations, very, very welcome, and I will see you guys in the next video.